but the government's no good. They would love to go back to Uganda. They would. But they're here, and I'm very proud that they're here in Massachusetts, and I have the largest Ugandan population in the Massachusetts. And they're loving, religious, hard-working people. But you know, people power, meaning the democratic process will work.
Yeah!
When I was a young kid, and I'm almost finished, I promise. They know I don't speak a lot, they know. I'm the mayor of a few words. But when I was 17 years old as a student at Boston College, my Western civilization professor said, and he put it on the blackboard, and he said, this is all that you're going to learn in this whole class. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And in Uganda, your democracy is going to be reborn in a true democracy. And Bobiwine is going to be your president.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, among stars, we have our religious leaders. Let me take this opportunity to mention Pastor Antalo is with us. You can just wave your hand. That's Pastor Antalo. We have Pastor Samuel Mutiaba. Yeah, he's for people power. Pastor Mutiaba. That's good. We have Sheikh Dumba, the people power guy, Sheikh Dumba. We have Father Mulindwa. Father Mulindwa, you're welcome, sir. We have Sheikh Buwimbo. Sheikh Mayanja. Sheikh Mayanja. There you are. And more are coming. We have many religious leaders. At this juncture, I also wish to mention our brothers in the struggle. We have brothers from our neighboring countries who love Uganda and who are concerned with the situation in Uganda, because if Uganda is not stable, they also want their countries may also get affected. We have brothers from Kenya, we have brothers from Rwanda, we have brothers from Tanzania, we also have our brothers from Liberia. They are here to support us, the struggle, and they're here to say, can I, at this point, invite our brother from Liberia to come and say something? I understand you still need to give something to Bobby. So, brother, you introduce yourself. Thank you so much.
People power. Our power. People power. Our power. Our power. People power. Our power. People power. All right, let's turn that around a little bit, right? When I say one Africa, you say one liberation. And I say one liberation, you say one Africa. And then I say one Uganda, you say one Africa. Are we ready? Yeah. One Africa. One liberation. One Africa. One liberation. I'm not hearing you guys. Everyone, are you hearing them? Yeah. One Africa. One liberation. One liberation. One Africa. One liberation. One Africa. One Uganda. One liberation. One Uganda. One Africa. I'm so glad to be here. And let me first and foremost thank the Ugandan diaspora community for this amazing work. I see the true power of the Ugandan diaspora community towards people power and towards the Mission 2021. And as I said, I was reflecting the struggle all across Africa. The liberators before us, people like Kwame Nkrumah, people like Nizigiwe, Patrice Lumumba. What I realized is that when those people fought for the liberation of Africa, there was no diaspora community, there was no social media, there was no Facebook or Twitter, but yet they fought. So today, to the advantage of the new Pan-African liberators, we have diaspora community. It's a blessing to all of us. And by virtue of being here as a black and a Pan-Africanist, I'm also a Ugandan. And I look forward to visit Uganda, that beautiful land, with the beautiful people. I've heard a lot of stories about Uganda. And I have a good friend who also invited me, Karim. We've shared moments together on the Voice of America discussing the continental challenges that we face. So I look forward to visiting Uganda. I know Uganda has been a place of a long history of repression and bad governments. And with Museveni 33 years in office, in my mind, it's just a reflection of that long history, of that bitter past. But I think it is a challenge to each of you Ugandans to move beyond Museveni in 2021. To be able to support the People Power movement and this new agenda for change. Because in 2021, when Bobiwine is elected president, it is not just Bobiwine who understood the affairs of the nation. It is his vision that embodies the hope and aspiration of the Ugandan people. And so, encourage your friends and your family members to be a part of this ever-growing movement. And we from Liberia, representing the grassroots alternative movement for economic freedom, we say that we stand with the People Power movement. Our struggles are similar. In Uganda, tons and tons of young people are unemployed. That's the same in Liberia. In fact, in Africa as a whole, we continue to see poverty on the mass scales all across the continent. I was just reading a report from the Ugandan Bureau of Statistics, right? 27% of all Ugandans live in poverty. What that means in context, it is the size of all those that live in poverty in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea combined. And the World Bank has warned Africa that by 2030, 90% of all the poorest in the world will reside in Africa, and those will be Africans. So this is the tragedy and the delusion of the Africa we have come to know. Our generation have come to know. The tragedy and delusion of the post-colonial Africa we presented with. And Uganda is not alone in this. All across Africa, we continue to see lists of different leaders, long-serving leaders, in countries like Cameroon or Chad, in Equatorial Guinea, or even in some East African countries like Rwanda, Equatorial, and Djibouti. Long-serving leaders continue to perpetuate themselves in power. This has got to change, because the Africa we know that is endowed with abundance of natural resources, whether it is iron ore or rubber or a tropical rainforest in Liberia or gold in Uganda or Ukrainian in Niger or silver in Tanzania or even the premier ore in Zimbabwe or even ore in countries like Nigeria and Egypt and Libya. All these countries combined. Africa is a blessed continent. We are not cursed. We are a blessed people. And our program speaks to leadership and the need for all of us to launch a revolution on governance across the continent and rewrite the African narrative. And as much as in Uganda you guys are doing it, we are willing to do it in Liberia so that collectively we can all rewrite the African narrative. We can all rebirth the true liberation for the African people and come together some days when we look back at the journey we have traveled and say we have fought a good fight and we shall wear the victor's crown. So I look forward to interacting more with the Ugandan people on behalf of our movement from Liberia, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, our brother from Liberia. People power! Our power! The struggle is not only for Uganda, it's for all Africans. at this point. Let me take this opportunity to remind you why we are here tonight. We are here for Mission 2021. When I speak like that, I assume everybody understands. And the Mission 2021 needs funding. If you are going to go into the presidency, if Honorable Chairman is going to get in presidency of Uganda, we need money. To my left, right in that corner, there's a lady. Sarah, can I put your hand up please, or stand up? That corner, you can take your cash there, you can take your credit card there, everything will be fine. Also, there's a cash app number. See behind me, there's a number there. That number, you can send your money there, cash app of that number. Please, we don't welcome checks. No checks, please. Either cash or credit or cash app. No personal checks. Thank you so much. This very minute, I invite our Professor Alimani. Can say something to the struggle Professor Alimani. You have 3 minutes, please.
Sisters and brothers, thank you for coming. First of all, let's give a round of applause to all the guests on the line. Madam Mayor, thank you for hosting us. MPs RK, Brother Yantley, and of course, Brother Bobiwine. Let's give him a round of applause. He will become leader in Uganda, but he's already liberated Uganda by showing us how to be brave. So for that alone, stand up and give him a round of applause. Sisters and brothers, tonight is your night, so I'm just going to spend 2 or 3 minutes and I'm done. Ugandans were waiting for that moment to get the spark, to regain their courage, and to end 33 years of tyranny. And this young man paved the way. When he survived the belly of the beast, he came to the United States for treatment. Many people did not believe he would go back to Uganda. Remember? The New York Times asked him. They said, why are you going back? He said, Uganda is my home. Uganda is my home. That's what he said. And when he said that, I'm sure that struck fear into the heart of the dictator. The dictator did not expect him to go back home. The dictator did not expect him to go home publicly and not go into hiding. And, sisters and brothers, I'm only speculating, but perhaps Brother Bobiwine can deny this. That day in Arua, the dictator is such a coward. He instigated the violence because he knew his candidate was going to lose. And then what does he do? He gets in the helicopter and he flees from the scene. So by the time somebody called him, he was expecting to be told that Bobiwine had been eliminated. Is that not true? Yes. What happened? The people who were designated to eliminate Bobiwine were not willing to do so. Think about that. How long was he missing? In all that time that he was missing, they could have eliminated him. Is that not true? It means people were not willing to carry out that order. So when Bobiwine came out, yes, on crutches, limping, but quite powerful. They beat his body, but his mind was intact. It was an intense pain, but he wanted to show Uganda and the rest of the world that I'm here to stay because I represent the youth of Uganda, and the youth of Uganda are going to take power and take hands in their destiny. And the brother from Liberia is right. This is the time for Africa's youth. We cannot tolerate 80% unemployment in Uganda, 60% unemployment in Uganda. The brother is right. The wealthiest continent with all the resources Why do we have young Africans dying trying to cross the Mediterranean to go to Europe, to work cleaning jobs in Europe, when Africa has the resources that is creating the wealth in Europe, in the United States, and in China? We must change Africa. We must get rid of corrupt leadership. We must allow the young people. Where's my brother from Harvard? Where's my brother from Harvard? Taylor, where is he? Where's my brother from Harvard? I saw him a few minutes ago. That young, there he is. Give him a round of applause. That is a one-man army. When the dictatorship tried to delete him, the followership from Twitter, what did he do? He sued. That's what we must do. We must show the dictator that we are not afraid of him. But as I said, tonight is your night. I just wanted you to get warmed up a little and get agitated. But let me say one more thing. Our students at Makerere, how do you attack young students? Students are our future. How do you rape students? Why do you send the National Army, whose duty is to protect the country, to attack students? Think about that. So sisters and brothers, I did one thing that I hope you emulate. I took my students from John Jay College, accompanied by Professor Helen Epstein, Professor Sami Disu. We went in front of the Uganda mission to the UN last night. And we protested. We showed them that an attack on a student anywhere is an attack on a student everywhere. So any one of you affiliated with any college, please organize a protest and let them show solidarity with students in Uganda. Thank you, sisters and brothers. Viva Africa! Viva Uganda! Viva People Power! Viva Bobiwine! Viva Brother Zake! Peace and blessings.
Milton Alimani for that powerful message. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to run with us. We are a little late, but don't worry, we shall run through the program. At this juncture, allow me to recognize more of our religious leaders. We have Sheikh Umar Tebosweke. Just say hi. Wave. We have Haji Sebunya Musa. Wave to the people. Haji Musa Sebunya. We have Haji Muhammad Semakula. And you have Haji Haruna Chitoke. Haruna Mubiru. Muyimbi is a fellow artist. Haruna Mubiru is somewhere. But we shall recognize him later. At this juncture, let me invite Chairman Nyanzi Sebo.
Tutambule emera neweganye tulemereko tugende olugendo luwanvu bwe tulemerako tutemuka webale nnyo. People power is our power. Our power is real power. Power is our power. Our power is real power. Waona kano tukayimba mu informal sector. Omanyi ffe tusinga okuzoganya tuyimba zoga zoganya zoganya muliwoli zoganya muyimbe tuwulire zoganya 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 buli woli zoganya. Okuzoganya tuzoganya Museveni tulegamba bwe tuli President Kanyonyola yakaleeta. We call it kuzoganyation. Thank you very much. Your Worship, the Mayor of Waltham, Madam, thank you very much for those kind words. Banyabo Nebasewo, my names, I'm Nyanzi Fred Sentamu, and the People Power, I lead the informal sector. This is the biggest, it takes the biggest number of people, the biggest percentage of people that we think is going to help us ride us into this revolution. Olwaliro nfunye omukisa era awonja okutambulira okusinga mu informal sector awo. Abantu abava mu informal sector basukka mu 7 betulowooza nti ku mulundi guno bebasinze okwagala nnyo ebyobufuzi babijja ku bannabyabufuzi bano ababaddemu bulijjo. Mukiraba tubadde mu Arua, tubadde e Bugiri, twali e Kyaddondo, mulaba ekika ky'abantu abalimu abettanidde okuba nti bakulembera ebyobufuzi bino ebiriwo kati. Era ekigambo kwebeereramu kyazuukusa abantu abo ne baba nga bali mu kintu kino. Be basinga okwogera Honorable Kyagulanyi kubanga abasinga tebesimbyewo, tebalina bifo nnyo bye baagala, ate be babosi ku mirimu gyabwe. Tuwuliziganya bannange, kimwagwira okulekawo sigiri ya kasooli, okulekawo ekigaali, okuteeka bodaboda ye mu nnyumba, oba ogikozesa ekintu kyonna wakoze ki wayagalidde. So abantu bano bangi nnyo era bagenda otuyamba okulaba nga tukusa ekintu kino. Mukira bungi nnyo nti tubadde tukola ebintu byonna activities zonna mu kibuga ng'abantu bano bali very very active. Gye bali nekirabika tetunaba nnyo bateekako sira. Mulaba bannabyabufuzi ennaku zino bajja ku kadaala, bwe twala ewoyima bannabyabufuzi bajjanga ku budaala ne batambula ne bagenda. Ekiseera ekyokulonda bwe kyatuuka nze nali ewoyima, abantu ba bulijjo abaava e Kampala be basima okulumirwa akalwako era be baakalimu. You didn't see politicians there. Tuwuliziganye kati omulamu ogusinga tulina okuteeka mu bantu baffe aba bulijjo, abantu ba wansi, omuntu wa bulijjo. Era abantu bafunira obuzibu bwonna tugenga tukole ki? Tubayambe. Banyabo ne bassebo, mukimanyi bulungi nnyo ebyobufuzi byakyuka. Tetujjakola biri ebirifomo ennyo ebyedda, tekubeeraawo okwetooloola, kutula nnyo mu meetings, mulina kumanya kiki kiri ku ground, kiri mu bantu kye balowooza kyemutambulirako okutuukiriza ebigendererwa byammwe. Mukimanyi bulungi nnyo kati politics bwe tuzanya disruptive. Museveni mu kumuzoganya tumukyusa n'atandika okugendera ku bye tukola. Obwongo bwakyuka kati takyasobola kukolanga. Kati olaba entunula yakyuka, engeri gyazinamu amazina n'abayimbi kati yalizotinza ate ku Kyagulanyi byatuuzaako wasati bakola ki beyagenze nga atandika okulonda. Mukiraba nti kati agonze, kitegeeza ebintu ebyo tulina okuteekamu amaanyi. Ennwana yakakati si yeyalu gye twalwananga. Nze maze ebbanga eriwerera ddala mu byobufuzi myaka 25 mu Kampala awo, naye sirabangako Museveni ng'akola ebyekigwagwa nga byakola kati, kubanga ebintu byonna byakola kati awugira mu mazzi gaffe. Luli twagenderanga ku byakola n'akola obuvuyo ne tubulira okwo. Kati Kyagulanyi lwakyusa nga naye akola ki? Kati yagoberera. Kyasigaza kyokka kati asigaza state power. Naye amaanyi batakola ki? Taliyo. Kaakati mukira bulungi nnyo nammwe nemukoze omulimu munene nnyo ku social media. Mulaba ennwana ya pengepenge gyerwanamu okukakanyama amafina n'ebikolwa bye. Ennwana eri disruptive, kugamba ejja abantu ku mulamwa newankwadde kyagwa naye muyina okusigala nga mukozesa nnyo obwongo. Tulina okuba nga tuyiya buli kiseera nga tuli creative ate nga tufaanyo contributinga, kubanga kino ekintu kyammwe tekikyaliko biri ebyedda nti ate kibiina kyabufuzi no kyendimu ate kati ddiini yokulembedde wano ate kati gwanga gundi. It is our thing, kintu kyaffe ffenna. Yeyo feeling ebajjajja muli mu mpewo muno okujja wano okukola ki, okwebeereramu eggwanga ne tugenda likyusa ffenna ffenna wamu. So tulina okuba n'ebibuuzo, waliwo 5 W's. The who, the when, the where, the which, style, and the why. Ebyo ebibuuzo tulina okubibiringirako ebintu byonna byetukola ki, byetukola. Tukimanyi bulungi nnyo bwe infiltrated. Naye infiltration temugitya, kubanga tetukyalina nnyo bye tukweka, ebintu bikolera mu musana. Ffe twasazeewo Kampala ebintu bikola ki? Bereti gijja kusijja gijjako n'egitambuza. Era bereti eno gye mulaba tufubye nnyo okulaba nga tugitwala mu maaso. Ndowooza mulaba abaana ba booda basigadde bazambala buli wamu wonna wonna. Kyagana kyetukola ki? Kyetukola kubanga amateeka yagatta gakyalina mugaso mu Uganda, agamenya kyere. So n'ekirala bino bagamba nti gundi mbega ne gundi mbega ne gundi mbega, temukkiriza kwera nti bajja bireeta ebibiina byonna okubatiisatiisa n'obawula ku bannammwe. Otandika okutya gundi zaako omutye, buli mutwe nabwo otukako okutya bakugambe nti oyo mbega akoleka kisoka kwesanga akukole ne tumulaba. So newakubadde bambega gye bali ate nabo bebeerere mwe tunaakuzulya dda nti oli mbega, abantu bajja kukolako tugenda kumanya kinaakukugambe. Tulina ekizibu eky'abantu bamirundi ebine kanjogera ekizibu kya bantu bamurundi gumu. Be bantu abalowooza nti watwala omwana wo ku ssomero kiba kiwedde naye ng'alabidde enkyukakyuka etuuse. Abantu abo balina otuyamba ne bakola ki? Abantu baffe mu informal sector tubayigiriza okulekerawo okukaaba. They must stop crying, because when you cry you are entertaining Museveni. Museveni yalabadde omusaayi, yalabadde abakaaba, takyatya bakaaba. In fact abantu balowooza n'okuwooza nti agunywa gw'abantu. Tuwuliziganya lwekyo ekigambo kutya kyo twakigobye ate netwagala kukaaba, kubanga bwe tukaaba tulina kutambuliza revolution eno mu kubeera nga tuli basanyufu buli kiseera. Ebintu bingi omukyala nga mubudde weddeyo, naye nze kyensaba ekintu kimu, abantu bano mu informal sector tutandika okubalowoozaako ennyo banyewo ne bassebo. Nze nensonga lwaki nettanidde ebirasinga byogera wano. Bagambye mu kulonda tewajja kubawo cameras, naye ffe tugamba zijja kukola ki? Obuyambi bwe tulina okusinga okubawa tufe nnyo okulaba nga mu byalo watuukayo social media, abantu nga babeera bafuna access ku social media, nga bafuna amasimu. Tufube nnyo okulaba bwe tuukira 2021 abantu bafuna ki? Amasimu. Buli omu ng'asobola ginyiga first of all n'afuna information, ekyokubiri n'alipotinga, ekirala n'abeexposinga, kubanga abasobola okukola ki? Okufulumya ebintu ebyo byonna byonna, n'okufuna cameras. N'olwekyo ekisoboka oba tulina cameras nkadde n'oba amasimu, mufube okulaba nga mugawereza abantu baffe. Abantu bonna bonna bafune ki? Amasimu. Ensi yonna eri ku masimu. Amasimu ganatuuka mu byalo teri kibajja tulimba, kubanga abantu bajja kuba bakola ki? Balina access to information. Nja kusaba abakulu nandi basomedde abantu bano amanya gaabwe ne gabulirwa twagogeddeko mu America. Abaana abo ababonaabona, abaana abo abonaabona amanya ago nja gamukuluzaako agasome, abantu abo mubakubire mu ngalo kubanga bakoze omulimu munene nnyo. Era twagala kamera ya nsi yonna erina ti babakoze ki? Babasomye. Abamu twabalese mu makomera, abalala babamenya amagulu, abalala babakuba. Bwegamba tuli oyo mu lutalo oluyitirivu. Mukoze omulimu munene nnyo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Naye nsaba mukubira abaana abo ababodaboda, abakyala abafuga emmere, abali mu katale engalo ez'amaanyi nnyo, kubanga be bayimirizaawo omulimu ogwo gwe tugenda okukola wansi. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. People power! People power! Our power!
you so much. People power, our power. This juncture, let me invite Honorable Comrade Nubian to say something. Nubian we have a cash desk here, and Bobby, you know, see what we have, our ministers. We are gonna dance, they are gonna give us music. So please don't leave, we are gonna enjoy.
Olutalo ngaluende tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule olutalo ngaluende tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda tuliyambala masa olutalo galuende tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda. People power, our power. Omukama mulungi ekiseera kyonna. I want to thank our Lordship Mayor. Thank you for honoring our occasion. I want to thank our religious leaders abali wano bakulembeze mwena mu bitibwa byamwe ebyenjawulo n'omubanda wa Kabaka Ssebagulanyi Kyagulanyi naki nze ebigambo byange bigenda kubeera bitono nnyo nga ngamba nti national anthem yaffe egamba for Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand, united, free, for liberty. Together, we will always stand. But in Uganda, we are not free in Uganda. That's why we are here. We come from one of the richest places in the world. Bajita Ewaka Wakanda. Uganda echi? Wakanda. We are supposed to be kings and queens. Naye tuva ewaka kubanga embeera sinungi. Kulwaki tuli under captivity by a little group of people abalowooza nti bajja kutegeerera eggwanga lyaffe naye nga kikyamu. Kiki tusobola okukola? Ga national anthem yaffe wetugamba nti no, we shall always stand united at our country's call. Tujavayo tulwanirire eggwanga lyaffe kubanga we waka wokka. We do not have another home. Tituyinza okubeera nga tuli America, but this is not our home. Our home is back in Africa, a Uganda where we are supposed to be kings and queens. Naye tetusobola kubanga embeera yonna mbi. I want to thank the diaspora. Mwebale nnyo okuyimirira wamu naffe ba people power. We are so proud of you. Thank you so much. Era mwandyekubiddeko ku ngalo. Banange omulimu gwe mukola gwa nsuso nnyo era tusiima nnyo. Era nga mbasaba tugende maaso n'omulimu gwe mukola. How can you be of influence back home? Mulina social media, mulina eddoboozi. You can use whatever platform you have or exposing whatever is going on back home. Omwana wa Uganda kasakulaga wa polisi nga kuba omuntu. Kisharinge, like it, share it. When you share it, kiyingira mu news feed y'abantu abali America. That's how we are going to be able to expose the regime. You are doing something. Then mulina abantu be mulabirira Uganda. Diaspora are contributing so much money back home. Kakati, you can influence the people you look after back home. Wewabira bagenda kulonda balonde our next president. So banange, you have a role to play. Tell your mulala agenda kufuringa up our country. Only us. Ate kijja kuba kya nsonyi nnyo Kasa Museveni asigala nga afuga Uganda. It's been 34 years and he still clings on to the power. Titakyalina na moral standards. Asobola okufuna omuntu asinga okuwemula mu nsi yonna yonna n'amuteeka ku saidi n'agamba kakati kubira ekikopo. But we are not going to be like that. Tetugenda kuseninga out. This time it's not about the money, it's about our home. We want to be free. We are not free back home. So Bola Mantino, he went ahead. Nagana Honorable Kyagulanyi exercising his freedom. He cannot have a concert back home. And just in 2 years, he's now the enemy of the Republic of Uganda. Nenga banange Kyagulanyi ayononya amalwaliro. Kyagulanyi aganya amasanyalaze okubeera distributed all over Uganda. It's just 2 years. Omusajja abadde mu power for 34 years. Naye nga ki kyetusobola okukolawo? Bingi nnyo byetusobola okukolawo. Abantu abali mu diaspora mulina responsibility okulaba nti no abantu abali in leadership back home tebajja eno okufuna obujjanjabi, tebajja eno okukola ebintu ebirala, tubagobe nabo abajjanjabire malwaliro gegamu naffe tebatuteekamu. Tuteekewo embeera. We have a role to play. Teri omulala agenda kikola. And a people united can never be defeated. When you do your role up one way US, mubira mukola chamani. Munange fe ewaffe, we are not free to do anything. Nti newegezako emirundi mingi enyimba zaffe bazijeyo ku radio station, bazijeyo ku TV. Abantu abali mu opposition tebasobola kuŋŋaana nga bwe musobola okuŋŋaana wano. Kati okubanga mulina that freedom, let's maximize it. Tugikozese to the maximum kubanga eddoboozi ly'abantu abali owamu likubakerere okusinga omuntu omu. Ffe tuli bagumu nnyo kubanga tumanyi muli wamu naffe era bambi mwebale nnyo, mugende maaso muteekewo embeera. Abo bonna bonna abalowooza nti no bajja tukuumira mu captivity tebatoloka okujja eno okufuna obujjanjabi. Muteekewo embeera naki people power, our power. Thank you so much.
People power, our power. At this point, why can't we hear from Honorable Zake? As we wait for Honorable Zake, can I use a story from Louis to Louis? You're going to speak after. Sorry. Let's hear from this young man from Uganda.
Thank you so much. Sorry, Honorable Zake, but exercising is good for you. The Mayor, Honorable Kyagulanyi, fellow compatriots in the struggle for a better Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Louis Bongoya. I'm the Executive Secretary of the People Power Movement in Uganda. Very glad to be here tonight, and I'm very grateful to all of you for coming out this cold evening to join us and for putting on the red berets, a symbol of resilience, a symbol of the struggle that we're involved in. Ladies and gentlemen, Lal Bahul Shastri said that there comes a time in the life of every nation when the nation comes to crossroads and it must determine which way to go. 3 years ago, I finished my studies at Harvard University. I was pursuing my master's in law. I went back to Uganda and started teaching at a university. A few days passed by, and weeks and months, and then one evening I went to class and found a person who later became my friend and my leader, Kyagulanyi Senta Robert. I was teaching him constitutional law, although I'm definitely younger than him. But I saw this gentleman who I had admired for a very long time, who had inspired all of us in music and song, and through actions and through his life and example. He had been able to encourage so many young people to work hard and to love their country above all things. And we started having conversations about our country. We started debating what our country was going through. And comrades, we decided that it was not enough for him to continue singing about democracy, about the rule of law. He had a role to play. And a few days later, I also took a decision that it was not enough for me to teach constitutional law in class. It was time for me to get into the struggle, to get into the trenches at a very big risk, at many dangers, as you all know, the dangers that we are involved in. And that is how I come to be here tonight, on this podium, speaking to you comrades, that we have a duty to pray, all of us, regardless of who you are, regardless of what position you're in. Our country is yet again at crossroads. As you know very well, our country got independence in 1962. And at that time in 1962, our parents and mothers and great-grandparents jubilated because they thought our country had finally got freedom. In 1966, our country came back to crossroads. There was a Kabaka crisis, and you know the problems that followed. In 1971, when Idi Amin took power in Uganda, Ugandans came out on the streets and jubilated yet again because they thought freedom had finally come to our country. A few months passed, and there was a great wailing because human rights violations and all those things. In 1979, when Idi Amin fell, our country jubilated. People burst in song. Men and women danced and burst in song indeed. But a few days later, our people were killed yet again. And there were all problems that you know. UNLF took power and problems continued happening and happening. Friends, in 1986, when President Museveni took power, those of you who are here and you were alive at that time, remember the hope and optimism which people had. I'm a student of history and I'm a teacher of history. I might not have been there at that time, but I have read history and I know that there was great jubilation when that gentleman took over power in Uganda. But friends, years passed. He told the nation that Africa's problem was not the leaders, but was not the people, but was the leaders who overstayed power. 34 years later, he is still in power. And our country has been run down. There are no functioning institutions. We have problems everywhere. The other day, a friend, our comrade, got an accident, and Honorable and I and other friends rushed him to Mulago Hospital. And this gentleman had to go to the casualty ward on the floor because there was no bed for this gentleman. We found people dying in the casualty ward of Mulago Hospital. On another occasion, we went to Chirudu Hospital. Same thing. You go to schools and you want to shed a tear. That is what our struggle is about, friends. That our country must, once and for all, be liberated. Our call is that this time round, we do not want any other person to liberate our country. We want the people of Uganda to liberate their country. That is why we say people power, our power. Because we believe that when the people of Uganda liberate their country this time round, nobody is going to mess that country up again. That is what our country is all about. Our friends, before I conclude, I want to talk about the core things that our struggle is about. And Honorable Chakulani asked me to briefly highlight them. But these are things which we know. We are not telling you something new tonight. These are things which you know. Many of you are here not because you would love to be in the United States of America, but because your country does not offer the opportunity that you deserve. Our country does not provide equal opportunities. It did not provide those opportunities, and therefore you had to leave the country and come and live in this country and other places. And you are lucky to be in the United States, but we have our sisters and brothers who are living in other countries under terrible conditions. Every other day, a person is brought dead. People who go alive and kicking go to some places to work in those countries because of diplomatic reasons. I will not mention the countries. And then these people come back dead. And that is what we are saying, that enough is enough. We need to put an end to that kind of situation. Therefore, friends, we want to revamp the democracy in our country. We want to end injustice and impunity. We want to revive the healthcare system, the education, agriculture. We want to end land grabbing and all sorts of ills which belittle our society. Friends, at Martin Luther King told us, those who love peace must learn to organize as much as those who love war. And today what we're involved in is organization. We're here tonight to charge you up, to invite you to join us in this cause, in whichever way you can. I know it might not be financial support, but in whichever way you can, please support this struggle. Because, comrades, as Honorable Chagulanyi told us in one of his songs, when leaders become misleaders and mentors become tormentors, opposition becomes our opposition.
People power, our power. People power, man. You know, only one night. I'm another side. People have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Honorable side.
DJ, when the battle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. Can you sing it together? In English? Can we translate it? DJ down. When the battle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the battle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda. Once again, when the battle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the battle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda. I thank you. You can take your seat. A people power. Our power. A Chagulanyi oye. A Bobiwine oye. A Robert oye. Thank you. M7Z. I see most of you have from Makerere students, I can see. The mayor of Waltham of Kampala. We are actually glad to be with you right here. My fellow comrades from the People Power Movement, I salute you. And all of you guys, really, this is a very huge sacrifice. I know you guys are very busy. You're so hardworking when you're here in the US. You have a lot of things to do. But I thank you, and I wish you can at least clap for yourselves for sacrificing this time. Thank you so much. You know, for us, whenever we're in Uganda, we can try to organize certain kind of events, and you may find that some people feel that they are so busy to get involved, to be part of such things. But for you, you've really sacrificed so that you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Zake Francis, the one you hear about. Right here with you. And I know you've always been maybe thinking that Zake is a very tall man. Maybe he's fat. Zake is this small. Zake is this young. Guys, I'm a member of parliament representing the people of Mityana municipality in the parliament of Uganda, in the 10th parliament. And I'll tell you that in that August house, I'm the youngest member of parliament. And I'll tell you that at least among the 500 plus, actually we even don't know our number in parliament. At least when you mention 5 members of parliament, after the Honorable Chagulanyi and some others, you will not fail to mention Zake Francis. Because the moment anyone comes to that parliament, Zake will welcome you and I will give you what you deserve. That is our. It is, I think it was only the Katumba Wamala who tried to. But we shall sort him out when we wear the victory. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the People Power Team leader, leading up all the youths in Uganda in this movement. It is good. Clap for that. Yeah, and I'm the team leader, and at least I'm here on behalf of those youths. And I have 3 deputies. There is actually 4. There is one from the north called Otim Bosmik, and there is Namirembe Angela for the central Uganda, my deputy. There is Sasi Marvin, leading actually deputizing me in the western Uganda, and also Maria Natabi, representing me or deputizing me in the eastern Uganda. Yeah, friends, we are here with a theme, Mission 21. But I'll let you know that as we are progressing with this mission, we have actually faced so many things, and among them, I'll talk about the brutality. And at least I've been one of the victims with my colleagues right here. First and foremost, at the floor of Parliament, I was among the who were beaten from the Parliament of Uganda, and also from the Arua saga, you remember very well. And all of that has been happening, and so many other examples I cannot all mention right here. But I will thank you for standing with us. You guys, you've always been with us. If it has not been about you guys, I don't think that would be right here. I wouldn't be living. The next president wouldn't be in this room with you guys. If it was not about you, it was not about the process you put up in Boston here. You did something. Guys, thank you so much. Please continue doing that. Continue standing with us. I know by doing that, we shall overcome. And also, guys, I was told and requested by the comrade Chairman Nyanzi to at least mention some of these who have done so much. For example, Awad Magala, Awad Lucifer, Katongole Julius, Shamim Malende, Semakona, Bobiwine, Don City, Zuliye Kanarukenge, Banado Katumba, Hakim Kiza, Alosius Mukasa. There are so many. Guys, let us clap for those guys. Really, they have done a lot. They have been put in the cells. They have been beaten. A lot of stuff has happened to them, but they have stood their ground so that they can make this happen. I do not want to take a lot of time. I have a lot of things to actually share with you. But because we have a team leader here, we have a principal of the People Power Movement. He is going to represent all of those kind of experiences and views so that we do not take a lot of time right here. But I know you always hear from us. You always follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere. You guys, you actually show those guys level. Whenever they try to do something, Mubaraga level. Thank you so much for doing that. And I will stop here and request you that, guys, our only mission is Mission 2021. We are preparing for a vote. 2021, we have a candidate, and that is the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert as our ex-president 2021. The Honorable Kyagulanyi oye! Honorable Kyagulanyi oye! Osco Z! Thank you so much.
they're behind Mission 2021. We have mothers, we have children, we have our husbands, and at this juncture, Honorable, allow me to introduce the Kabaka's representative, the deputy Kabaka's representative here in Boston, New England. Awekitiibwa Ndawula omukungu wa Ssaabasajja sebo obirako ku bantu obirako ku Honorable Chairman oyo ye mukungu wa Ssaabasajja wali waffe today naye ali mu nsonga. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost there. We are almost to the gist of the matter of tonight. You know the theme of tonight is Mission 2021. And Mission 2021 means what? We need money. At this time, allow me to introduce my colleague, Mvawana, before we invite Honorable Chairman. Mvawana.
People power. People power. Mr. Chairman, I started smelling the State House right now. Siraba bantu bano nga bazze okuwulira abakulembeze bonna abadde bajja mu Boston. Sibalabangako kati akawowo ka State House katandise okundigira. N'olwensonga eyo ekituleese wano olwaleero ekintu ekikulu omukungu wa Ssaabasajja ojja kunsonyiwa ngenda kwewola akakodyo ke twakozesa ku ttaffaali tukakozese ku people power. Naye kikoma wano njagala buli omu muŋŋambye sente ezisinga tezisobola kugenda ku kasha mwagala kuzeekwasisaani Honorable. Leta ekibbo wano kiteeke wali ojja n'omukwatako mu ngalo n'omugamba ku lwa people power nkuwadde 3,000 n'ozimukwasa. DJ nga wotukubira akayimba. Okay, basobola bannyabo kikyuseemu mulembe gw'abavubuka awulira ekinyengenyege ayagala kwogerako gye muli, then tukole fundraising. Muinvite.
All right, thank you, Charles. Thank you, Dorothy. Now, we are now starting what we've been waiting for again, right? So we've had from different videos, and we want to thank you so much. I'm going to ask Arao to come and speak to us. Now, many of you, when the coordinators were selected, you were asking the question, who is Arao? So today we have the opportunity as the New England community, and of course people who are watching us from different platforms, to hear from her, and then she will introduce Honorable Robert Chamberlain. Arao, thank you so much.
How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Our power. Our power. People power. People power. Okay, wonderful. Hello, my name is Arao. I'm the team leader of the diaspora coordinators. I work with Kareem County in Maryland and Washington, D.C. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, all right. I'm here to talk to the Boston community, to commune with you, and most importantly, to let you know how important you are to the success of the People Power movement. I know some of you in the back didn't hear me very well, so I'll repeat my name again. My name is Arao Amen. I'm from Lago, originally from Lira, Uganda. But before I start, I want to acknowledge the Boston team. So I want the Boston team to please stand up. The Boston team, please stand up. Led by Herman, please wave your hand. The Boston team, please stand up. Give them a round of applause, please. This would not happen without the Boston team. Thank you. I want to thank you, the Boston team, for your hard work in hosting our president. Next, I want to talk to the Boston community. Your engagement and your support is instrumental and crucial to the success of the People Power movement. With your support, People Power can do these 3 things. Number 1, mobilizing fellow Ugandans and our friends. Number 2, organizing awareness campaigns. Number 3, fundraising campaigns. I'd like to also talk about some of our successes. As the team leader of the diaspora, along with my deputy, Karine Mutambi, these are some of our successes that we're able to do in the diaspora and with the help of the Boston community. As members of the diaspora, we succeeded in getting U.S. sanctions against Kaikoura. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear. As members of the diaspora, we succeeded in getting U.S. sanctions against Kaikoura. Number 2, these are our successes. Everyone in this room should clap for themselves because everyone in this room was able to make this happen. We successfully worked with the U.S. Embassy to deny visas to human rights violators, and I'm here to send a message. From anyone that can hear is that we are not done yet, and we're going to continue doing so. Number 3, our success as the diaspora, as the strong Ugandan diaspora that we are. We are using social media to connect and build a strong people power movement. Deputy Karine Mutambi, we are going to continue to work hard for our country, Uganda. We're part of the diaspora here, but our heartbeat is back home in Uganda with our brothers and our sisters. And we will continue working for the human rights of our people back home. I'd like to thank all the Ugandan media that's here, all the Ugandan-owned media that's here. If I forget to call your name, please don't be offended. Diaspora TV, Campfire. Can I get a round of applause for Kabuye Boston, please? If I forgot any diaspora Ugandan-owned media here, please let me know who you are. But we cannot do it without the Ugandan-owned media. We cannot do it without diaspora here, living here. We have teachers, we have nurses, we have doctors, we have Ugandans of all walks of life. We also have Kello TV here. May I get a round of applause for Kello TV? AI TV. Thank you all so much. We cannot do that without you. And now I'm going to move on to introducing the man of the hour. Woo! DJ. I have the pleasure of introducing the next president of Uganda.
DJ, we carried our voices with us. their beautiful voices. So sing, my brother Nubian. Uganda, hey, Uganda, you're sleeping, mama land. Oh no no, wake up, mama land.
Yes, sir,
Bobby. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we born in. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. Bobi makuche tuli, mazima we tuli, si we tuli na okuwa Uganda. Hey, Uganda, you're sleeping, mama land. Oh no no no, wake up, mama land. Thank you. People power. Our power. People power. People power. Our power. People power. And takes your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. The mayor, Madame Jeanette Makape, our elders and senior Ugandans, religious leaders, leaders of the People Power Revolution, and other political leaders in different shades. Our friends and brothers from the African continent, our friends and brothers in the United States and other parts of the world, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be with you today. Before I go any further, I want to make note of the last time I was supposed to be with you and request you to kindly take my apologies for failing to be with you, but indeed there were circumstances beyond our control. I was watching you live on Facebook and I watched everything that went on, but again, every bad thing comes with a good thing on the side. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always told you that this is not about me. While I know that I carry responsibility, I know that each one of you is equally responsible. You are as responsible about our country as I am. So when some things happen, sometimes I'm convinced to believe that it was God working, reminding us that this is not about Bobiwine. Even when I'm not here with you, I might be in jail, I might even be eliminated by the dictator. But this is to remind us that we must always move forward with or without me. I therefore want to thank the leadership that steered the activities of that day. Like I said, I was watching you, I'm feeling very, very encouraged. We thank you for taking this upon yourself, because this is upon you in the same way it is upon me, ladies and gentlemen. We have spoken about a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't have said it, but it's important to constantly remind you about the state of affairs in our country, Uganda. Guys, we are still living under a brutal dictatorship. A brutal military dictatorship, where there's no freedom of speech, no freedom of expression, no freedom of association, no freedom whatsoever. Some of you that follow the happenings in Uganda on social media, you have seen the military not raiding the ghetto, but this time raiding your sons and daughters at the university, beating them, maiming them, and raping them. That is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in a country that we are even ashamed of mentioning. We live in a country that is messed up, where the hospitals don't work, where our leaders, your leaders, actually have to leave the country to come to America and other developed countries just to give birth. And that explains why more than 19 women die every day, not every week, not every month, every day, giving birth. More than 300 children die every day in your country. 300. Some time ago, I was at a function and there was an airline that crashed with 300 and something passengers on board, and it made news internationally for over a month. 300 people perishing. I was seated somewhere in the corner and I imagined where the world is making noise about a plane crash with 300 people, many of them adults. And in my head something was telling me that every day a plane full of Ugandan babies crashes every day, because that's the number of babies we lose. That is the state of affairs in our country. I always say it and I will say it again, that many of you here are not here because you want to live in America. Many of you are here not because you love this cold. You love the beautiful food of home. You want to see your people every day. You want to see your relatives. You want to be able to bury your relatives when they die. You want to be able to attend the weddings and functions of your relatives and loved ones. But you cannot. Why? Because of the way we are being governed. You will pardon me when I mention names, but today I almost shed tears just backstage. Allow me to call it backstage. I'm still an artist. There was a friend of mine, a very talented TV producer called Raymond. He left Uganda because Uganda does not provide what he feels he deserves. He met with another super radio personality called Kapalaga. He's also living here. Because when he was in Uganda, where he was not who he was. These were first world brains stuck in a third world country. And those are so many stories, ladies and gentlemen, of people that are forced to leave our home to come and enslave themselves here. That is where we are. That is the state of affairs in our country. And that is what we want to end. Because, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that manage to get on the plane and come here are the lucky few. And sadly, it is our best that keeps being drained out of our country. Look at all of you. Imagine all of us were home. But sadly, we cannot even meet at home. It is okay for young people to meet in their thousands to get drunk and party. But it is not okay for more than 5 Ugandans to come together and talk about the future of their country. I will not be able to address you if we were home. That is a reality. That is not a lie. I cannot sing my music because it opens people's eyes. I cannot even attend a church function because President Museveni thinks I am going to tell the worshippers the truth. That is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. However, even amidst insurmountable challenges, ladies and gentlemen, the Lord always provides a solution. It is sad that for the last time, and I say it many times, that I'm one of those young people of Uganda that feel culpable constantly, because I was also for a long time mentally sterile, not caring what happens around me, not caring how my country is being governed. And maybe my not caring caused or contributed to this. But like I said, there's a time of sleeping and there's a time of waking up. Now that all of us have woken up, or at least a majority of us, now that there's an opportunity, because we know that every 5 years we have an opportunity to change the leadership of our country. President Museveni has in the past invested in keeping the young people especially apathetic, making them believe that change is impossible, making them believe that nobody can provide a solution, that we are stuck there. And God raised some of us from the ghetto. And we did not stop at that. We realized that we are just as human as these people that think they were born to rule over us and oppress us. So, we said we are challenging Museveni. And ladies and gentlemen, to cut the whole story short, we are running, I am running to challenge President Museveni for the presidency in 2021. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. In the year 2021, I am going to run for president to challenge President Museveni, and we are going to win. While we are getting happy and fired up, it's important for us to understand, because ladies and gentlemen, we are young people, we are happy people, we are full of energy. Why are we running? We are running because President Museveni gave us a road deal. We are running because we decided to get involved ourselves. Like my brother Levi said, since independence, 57 years ago, Uganda has never had a peaceful transition of power. Every time we get a new leader, there's death, there's chaos, there's destruction. They bomb their ways in, they are bombed out. We don't want to see that. So we want to have the fast, peaceful transition of power, and it is possible. It is very, very possible, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be deceived that dictators are not defeated by the ballot. We have seen it before, and the most recent was Yahya Jammeh in the Gambia. But how do we do it? We must overwhelm Museveni. When we overwhelm him, we'll be breaking the dictatorship forever.
That's right.
If the people massively speak and they assert their voices, ladies and gentlemen, you can see a transition in Uganda, a bloodless transition. And secondly, we are running because we want to return the rule of law to Uganda. We want to return respect for human rights. We have a constitution in Uganda that is not respected. It is like this wooden, podium that if Museveni wants to come there, he's just going to push it aside. In 2005, he amended our constitution to allow himself to be president against the term limits. And in 2017, you all saw what happened. Some of our colleagues, like the Honorable Namboze and Honorable Zake, have not fully recovered from that attack. The Constitution provides for my fundamental rights to practice my profession, but I cannot. Why? Because Museveni is not my music fan. So we want to put an end to that. We want to restore our constitution, and indeed restore our constitutionalism. And that can only happen when we have a people-centered leadership, ladies and gentlemen. We want to empower institutions. As I speak to you here, I only get the energy to run against that man because we have seen that we have the support of common people like us. But we know we have even more talented people and more qualified people that have not had that platform. Those people can run the institutions. Those people can be able to offer their talents to Uganda. So we want to empower the institutions that outlive the greed of individuals like it is today, ladies and gentlemen. We want to restore independence of our parliament, which has now become a talk show, a mere talk show. We want to restore the independence of our judiciary. And that can only happen after Museveni is out. There are so many things that we want to do, but allow me as a ghetto child to talk about at least 3 that affect those people that are like me, the common people, who are more than 80% of the population. We have a dead education system, and that explains our unemployment. Our education is expensive, and yet does not bear results. It prepares our children, the next generation, only to seek for jobs, not to create jobs. It is not skill-oriented. So we need to revise our education system. Today, we have an education system that is presided over by the wife of a president, who I'm not sure whether she's educated anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak here in Boston, you all know that none of our leaders wants or can even be treated in our hospitals. Even giving birth, they have to either come to America, Europe, or all those other countries using taxpayers' money, while women die giving birth. If I'm to talk about our healthcare system, we can take the whole evening. So we want to restore it. You have seen land evictions, you've seen land grabbing, and most of the cases are traced back to the doorstep of President Museveni and his relatives. These people have made our people paupers on their own land. They've owned all our natural resources. We live in a very rich country. But these resources don't benefit all Ugandans, they benefit only one family. We want to put an end to that, and that is why I want to be president of Uganda, because it will Friends, there's so much we can talk about. But believe me, when you have a leader, when you have a president that knows that you are the bosses, you will indeed, like Nubian said, be kings and queens once again. You will own your country. You will have a leader that is answerable to you. You will have a leader that you have raised. And indeed, you will reserve the ability to pull that leader down if they dare to disrespect you. We want the citizens of Uganda to reign supreme, because that's what the law says. That is how it is everywhere. These countries, America and European countries, and all the developed world, they've developed not only because of the leaders, but because of the empowered population. You cannot cross a road, you cannot close down the road simply because you're an army general or somebody positioned high. These Americans are so empowered that they will not take that nonsense. You've seen them hold leaders accountable. You've seen them impeach leaders. That is what you must empower yourselves with. That is the power you must have.
And that is what we want to do. And we will only gain that when Museveni, who thinks he's God's brother, is out of power. There's so much we can do. We dream of that land where we see all of you bring your talents back home, where everybody will have opportunity, where we will have equal opportunity regardless of your tribe, regardless of where you come from, regardless of who your brother or sister is, where we will be equal regardless. That is where we're going. And guess what? We're going to reach there. I said we are going to reach there because we are resolved. That is why we are challenging this man. And I'm happy to inform you that so many people are standing with us openly and silently. So many people in the opposition are standing with us. So many people in the business community are standing with us. So many people in the police and in the armed forces are standing with us. And I want to tell you this, looking straight in your eyes, that we are going to beat Museveni at the board. And he will even be scared to try to do anything because he knows what he's dealing with. He has been feeding us for the last 2 years and you have seen him change. So that's where we are. However, while we are optimistic, ladies and gentlemen, I must say we have challenges. We have challenges. We see where we want to go. We see the promised land. But there's a river in between that we must cross. We have challenges. And among our challenges, we have the brutality that you've all seen. All the security organs, all the institutions that are supposed to protect us have actually been deployed to brutalize us for challenging the old man. That is a big challenge. We have a president that is panicking. And you know, panicking people are very, very dangerous. I give thanks to the Almighty that I'm still alive. Otherwise, those people had intended to eliminate me. But God had other plans. Just like Museveni planned to rule us for 50 years, but God had other plans. Did you ever know that somebody will rise from the rest of the earth, from the lowest of society, to make that man for you the earth? We have another challenge. There's intimidation. A lot of intimidation. As we speak now, all business personalities are there to speak out against the injustices and government excesses have been impoverished. I personally have lost all my businesses, which is okay because I didn't have them in the beginning anyway, and I know how to be happy without the money. So that's a challenge, that much as we know how to be happy without money, we have not yet learned how to drive cars without fuel. And we've not learned yet how to do other things that are run by funds without funds. I will not dwell so much on the challenges, ladies and gentlemen. I want to also point at the opportunities. I want to point at our strength. And maybe that will give us more, confidence and more motivation to move on. We have an open-eyed population. We have never been as open-eyed as we are today. We have never been as united as we are today. Politics used to be a thing of a certain class. We never used to meet in such numbers to discuss the future of our country. But you see, so many people, especially young people, have picked so much interest. This is historical, ladies and gentlemen. So that's a rare opportunity. We are young, we are many, we are aware, and we are strong. So that's one big opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. And that explains why Museveni is very scared. Friends, if you passed in the ghetto today, you would not believe it. These people never used to even know how the parliament works. They never used to know where their separation comes from. And indeed, Museveni tried so much to distance politics from the ghetto people. And I told him, I warned him in the beginning. I told him that if the parliament does not come to the ghetto will come to the parliament. And today, he later on took us serious. And that's why you see him frequenting the ghetto today. That is why you see him carrying loads of money to come and bribe the ghetto people. Because he thinks a meal for a day is enough to solve all our problems. Today I want to tell him that since State House has come to the ghetto is coming to State House. Now that we know that the ghetto is going to State House, how do we move from here? How do we get there? And you know, it disturbs me sometimes, friends. How do we get there? How do we move forward? These are my opinions, and friends, I don't want to be the only one to talk, because I know that the more we come together and share ideas and connect, we get solutions. First of all, it is important to break our fear. Yes. Somebody tell somebody, break your fear. Break your fear. Again, break your fear. Break your fear. Yes, we need to step on that fear. Because they've convinced us that it's dangerous to talk about Museveni as if he has 4 legs and I have 2. And that's exactly what dictators do. They always want to paint it, they call the aura around them, say, oh my God, you're talking about Museveni. He's a human being and is accountable to me because I pay my taxes. Yeah. He is supposed to be my servant. Yes, in the past he has told us he's not our servant. I am telling him that we are going to prove to him that he's our servant. And as a matter of fact, because he's our servant, we are going to remove him and put another servant who will respect us. So after breaking our fear, ladies and gentlemen, let us go ahead and approach it in different styles. Personally, I've been approaching it the way I know best, and learning from friends as well. We call it a rub-a-dub style. The informal style, like Chairman Nyanzi was saying. We approach it that way, and it has worked. Use every style you can, because we are at war. I say we are at war. So use everything you can for as long as it is legal and constitutional and non-violent. Yes. The difference between us and the Museveni group is that for them, they are murderers, they are rapists, they have to kill more than 500,000 people to get in power. We are not going to kill anybody, we are going to reason everybody. Yes. So use every peaceful and legal means that you can. Inform each other. We have a method. We call it each one, teach one. Make sure that every day you have, among the many things you do, you have at least done something to forward this struggle for a better Uganda. It can be a Facebook post, it can be just a telephone call back home, it can be anything, but at least do something so that by the end of the day, by the time you go to bed, you feel at least blessed, having done something, however little or simple it is. We must continue to do it. We've always been telling our brothers and sisters back in Uganda to register as voters because the vote never lies. And all of you that can either get your national ID and fly back home to vote, please do it. But again, we know that you guys in the diaspora have so much influence back home. Help a brother or a sister to register. Remind them that it's important. Influence them to look at things the way you look at them. You have lived in well-governed countries. You know what it means to have an empowered citizenry. Go ahead with that. Let us do it, and let us do it together. Use the social media. I said use the social media. Like Nubian said, expose these guys. Do not fear them. They are actually very scared of us. We don't carry guns. We don't carry knives. We just speak to people. But they panic. Every time we show up, they deploy the military. And even the military just winks at us because they are the same way as we suffer. Finally, friends, you know that the kind of work we are doing requires support. Museveni has in the past said that we are funded by some white people in the West. You know he's a liar. I'm sure you don't take him serious anymore. We have not been needing money in the past. We don't need too much of it because we stand for what is right and God is on our side. But my brothers, we need the support, we need the funding, because like our comrades were saying, my brother David Lewis there had to quit all his jobs. He had to move from a high-end place to the ghetto. I had to involuntarily give up on my music. Now I sing music to communicate to you, but I can no longer earn from it because Museveni is scared to see a coin in my pocket. But again, the struggle must move forward. So we need assistance from you, ladies and gentlemen. We will not go to any corporation for money. We will not go to donors for money. We will come to you because your money comes with a blessing. You want your home liberated. So we want your assistance, and because I cannot get this opportunity to address the people of Uganda, I want to address the brothers and sisters watching us now in Uganda and all other parts of the world that we need your support. We have reached somewhere. We have cornered this guy. Let us come together and finish the job. So as we go into this election, we want this election to be a locally funded election. And when I look at all of you, I see locals because you are local to me. Where do I see that? It's as if we're in Uganda until we walk out of this hall. So let's do it the Ugandan style. We need your support. Let's come together. Let's have the confidence. Let's kick this guy out of our motherland and get the opportunity to rebuild it. Let us embrace our historical role. We are a generation. Franz Fanon said that every generation must discover its mission and then decide to either betray that mission or pursue that mission. What do we do to our mission? We are going to pursue that mission and accomplish it, and we will go ahead and build a country upon which the sun will never set. I want to thank you for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen. And before I conclude, I want to tell you that I'm still an artist and I want to sing for you. before we sing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask my brother Mopawala to come and join us and guide us on how we are going to raise funds. I request the team not to charge people coming in, because it has to come from your heart. Some of you can offer much more than you would have paid on the door. And again, some of you that can not even be able to offer $1, at least you can take this in and each one teach one, like we've been saying. I thank you for God and my country.
We have decided to follow Bobby.
Again,
we have decided to follow Bobby.
Okay. That's what I
We have decided to follow Bobby. We have decided to follow Bobby.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you. However, youth baffe, Makerere oye! Makerere oye! Okay. Basebole banyabo tutuuleko, basaba tutuuleko wansi, akadde kano bakubireko ng'ogala bavubuka lugalo lw'amaanyi. Kakati enkola yaffe nga bwegenda okukola, sente mwina nyingi, tetusobola zisindika kashapu, kyeke baziganye. Tulina kaadi esaza wali, oba olina kaadi ogenda wali n'osaza, naye ekibbo kino kijja kudda ewa mukulu Bobiwine. Ojja omutunuleko mu face, omugambe ku stroke eno zino zensobodde. Mukitegeera, twagala abali ku CNN, abali ku TV, NTV, balabe layini bagambe nti bannayuganda abava e Boston basimbye layini okulaba nga strangle ya 2021 ekola ki? Egguka. Ekibbo kiri wano. Abakyala mwe betandise nammwe. Kyala ba people. Ladies first. Abakyala banyumidde mu kofiira omumyufu. Amanya Agnes Kasujja atuwadde $200. Agnes Kasule. Okay, abamu tebaagala kwogera ensente ze bawaddeyo. Banange twanguwe kana akantu kagende mu maaso. People power! Abakyala omwomu. Abakyala nga banyumye mu rate. Check eri mu motoka. Kimpe ekisumulufu. Okay. Abakyala banyumye. Abakyala. Lindako ono omukyala agenda tuwasene nyinyi nnyo. Lindako.